this Friday, a day where Christians believe Jesus Christ was crucified on the cross of Calvary. Church services and mass were observed in Buea and other Cameroonian towns and beyond. Also, thousands of mourners turn out for the coffining and subsequent burial of Dian Yango, the English language teacher of Government Bilingual High School Nilong in Dogbasi of Douala, whose death was caused by the husband after severe beating, as many reports recount. Those were major stories. Good evening to you all. You are welcome to High Prime of Friday, the 29th of March 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We start off this newscast for this day with this church news, where Christians of St. Cornelius Parish in Bunduma in Buea turn out massively for the Good Friday Mass that saw them taking part in the Station of the Cross to portray the passion of Christ that he went through right up to the death where he was crucified on the cross of Calvary. The day in the town of Buea was observed as a moment for Christians and fellow Catholics to reflect on the pain in which Christ went through for the sake of humanity, as Alice Leke Liengo Ikome recounts.
It is the early hours of the day. Everywhere is covered with fog, places are quiet, and the people are dressed in black. It is Good Friday. Christians of St. Cornelius Parish, Bunduma, Buea are out to replay the passion of Jesus Christ.
The passion play reminds us of what Jesus went through for us, and we do it each year because this sacrifice, this big sacrifice that Jesus made, is a sacrifice that brings us salvation. It's a sacrifice that washes away our sins.
Master, wait till you want to do so. Now you want to wash my foot?
Just now you know fit sabi, but after you go sabi the thing I want to do.
After being sold by Judas, a cross was given to him to carry. He fell on his way to Calvary. The sins of the world continues to add to his pain.
We continuously do it because we have not stopped sinning. We keep on praying for God's mercy. If for instance, we had repented once and for all, then we will say that, okay, this sacrifice is no longer necessary. This replay of the passion probably would not have its place. But because we keep on sinning, we keep on going astray, our brothers and sisters we keep on forgetting the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. So we remind ourselves simply by doing this each year.
Taking the Station of the Cross, the Christians of St. Cornelius Parish followed behind the supposed Jesus right up to where he was to be crucified. Jesus was nailed and hanged on the cross. This is an important event in the life of the youths of St. Cornelius Parish.
They dispose themselves also to practice, because what they have done required time for practice. So they made those sacrifices. They met frequently for practice, and I want to also appreciate the Christians for coming out. We were out since 7 o'clock and we are finishing now.
We as the youth of this parish, we decided that we will also make little sacrifice for the church by doing this passion play. So I'm really grateful for the youths that sacrificed their time to make sure that this play was successful.
The Christians of St. Cornelius Parish, living the scene which actually appears real, mourns over the death of Jesus Christ while anticipating his resurrection on Easter Sunday.
Move over to the town of Limbe and the satellite of Good Friday celebrations in that part of the southwest region, where Catholic Christians of St. Pius V St. Pius VI Catholic Church in Bota in Limbe joined their fellow brothers and sisters all across the globe to celebrate the Good Friday, a day that Christians believe Jesus Christ was crucified on the cross of Calvary. In his homily, the parish priest of that such church, Reverend Father Thomas Yenti, focused on the theme, "It is finished," drawn from the book of Matthew, where Jesus Christ mentioned that on the cross. He challenged the fellow parishioners of that such church to use this Holy Week as a period to submit themselves all to God while reflecting on all that Jesus Christ did on the cross for humanity's sake. Despite the scorching sun that was recorded in the town of Limbe, Christians could not stay back as they took full action in this set activity that led to the Station of the Cross and other activities marking the death of Christ in the St. Pius VI parish in Bota, Limbe. Now let's take an interview of an excerpt selected for us by a news producer of one of the parishioners of that said church in Bota.
And this day is very important for us Catholic Christians because it is a day Christ gave up himself on the cross for our sins. We are following him through and through with the cross. We are trying to imitate him, follow him, so that we walk with him during his suffering along the way to the Calvary, where he suffered and died for us. Well, the message I will give to people is that with the cross of Jesus, we put our trust in him. He is going to help us to reduce these problems that we are facing all over the world. He will be there for us each time we call on him, especially because of the cross, the suffering and death of him on Calvary. And they should hold firm to their faith, because in strong faith, Christ will be there, even in time of suffering or in time of joy. Christ will be there with them. So if they hold firm to their faith.
We talk environment on this newscast. One of the adverse causes of climate change and environmental degradation has been the destruction of the environment by the cutting of trees and the destruction of mangrove. As such, one of the environmental non-governmental organization based in the town of Boya, known as Erudev, has taken upon herself to encourage for the preservation of mangrove all across the coastal lines of Cameroon. This, in a way, the organization believes it will be going a long way to mitigate on the causes of climate change and the effects that comes along with the destruction of the set mangrove. Alice Lekeliengo once more.
In order to raise global awareness about the vital role of wetlands for people and planet, annually, February 2 has been set aside to celebrate World Wetlands Day. This day also marks the date of the adoption of the Convention of Wetlands Day on February 2, 1971. This year's celebration will focus on the theme of wetlands and human well-being. The theme recognizes wetlands as critical to people and nature, underscoring the intrinsic value of wetland ecosystem and their benefits and services, including contribution to sustainable development and human well-being.
Wetlands is a means of helping a community much. This planting can put some more improvements to make the land sustain the earth, and the animal will also have a place. There's some animal that they like to live in this forest. They will hit themselves there for at least it is what we use for feeding. It can feed us.
Wetlands are responsible for flood control, water purification, and water regulation.
In the commemoration of the World Wetland Day, which is the theme for this year, is wetlands and human well-being. We say no to mangrove deforestation. I broken down for small grammar. Deforestation, say more not cut mangrove again, because say mangrove is anything that is good for me. We say yes to mangrove afforestation. So say me when I plant them, as soon as I don't do una nursery for years, so for start do replanting, it be very good, because when una go plant them, una go say and say go give una more fish than for inside water. As well, most of una dey depend on the fish wey dey for water. We say yes to clean water. When the mangrove dey, water dey clean. for the wetland. Now say wait, first one, get number one for your tourism and fun. Some person go just don't decide for just go turn for inside water. He get pleasure. Tourism, why my fit come for here only for saying can see some mangrove reserve where they for around that time for Kange. Now it will give una income for the community.
This planting of mangrove will help our area much because this is where the fish lay their eggs. They lay their eggs before they hatch their eggs from here before they go to the high sea. Mangroves, it helps also for prevent erosion.
Wetlands are disappearing 3 times faster than the forests.
On to something else now. Cameroon keeps on flexing her muscles when it comes to the complete eradication of the poliomyelitis disease that is commonly to children. As such, the government of Cameroon has intensified vaccination campaigns in order to make sure poliomyelitis is being kicked out of the nation. Boris Esenu Wenfo in the paper that follows opined the need for parents and other persons to make sure their children and wards are being immunized in order to kick against the said disease. Boris.
The first round of the National Immunization Days against polio targeted children 0 to 5 years. Across the southwest region, children were given the oral polio vaccine to strengthen their immunity against the disability-causing polio virus. The Southwest coordinator of the expanded program on immunization says the overall coverage of the first round was a successful one with its 94% coverage.
We had a target of 95%, although we performed slightly below this this target we concluded with an overall coverage of 94%, although a little below the target. I think that it was really a great effort, taking into consideration that the Southwest region is one of the security compromised regions of the country, and also because we have a lot of hard to reach areas which need particular strategies to be able to reach the target population.
The campaign was necessitated following the detection of the rare wild polio virus type 2. Various strategies were used for the campaign.
We used a multiple of strategies, the most important strategy being the door-to-door strategy, where the vaccination teams, including social mobilizers, vaccinators, and recorders went door-to-door, and they were able to meet parents, take their opinion, and vaccinate their children by administering 2 drops of the oral polio vaccine. The second most important strategy was a school strategy, and in the region, some districts even started on Thursday to enable them vaccinate children in schools on Thursday.
Polio is a highly infectious disease caused by the polio virus. It mainly affects children under the age of 5, invading the nervous system and can cause paralysis or even death.
Although some of these refusals were managed, we still had some cases that were resistant to the end. We might also have had a few challenges as some areas might not have been properly covered. So during this evaluation meeting we are holding today, it's an opportunity for the chiefs of health districts to tell us their challenges, and together we'll be able to discuss feasible strategies that can be carried out to ensure that children who were missed during this first round will be properly covered during the second round of the activity, and if possible surpass the performance that we recorded during this first round.
It is important to note that the vaccine is free and represents the most effective way to prevent polio. The second round of vaccination is expected in the month of May.
You are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our main studio here in High Television. We crossed over to the Southwest region, where councillors of the Buea Council turned out yesterday for the first ordinary council session of that set municipal structure of the Southwest region to hold their set meeting in where they outline on major achievements that the set council has gained for the past few months now. Key amongst which was the construction of the roads linking my 16 neighborhoods to that of that of small support, where the Bear of Buea, Barrister David Mafani Namange, opines it is a new dawn for the Buea Council, as he calls on all denizens of the town of Buea to come on board when it comes to the development of that set area, as our reporter Aisha Mbang recounts.
Buea Council first session of the 2024 fiscal year opens today, March 28, 2024 at the deliberative chamber of the Buea Council, with all the different councillors present for the ordinary council session. The municipal magistrates for Buea, alongside with his team members, chat and deliberate on some key projects like the road linking Mile 16 to small support areas.
Activities carried out by humans. So we ensured first, as the law prescribes, to be up to date with salaries throughout the year, despite the fact that we realized a drop of more than 560 million from state subvention and other taxes from the state, which are usually transferred to us, additional taxes as they are known. We equally realized an increase in local revenue collection of approximately 62 million. They haven't paid salaries and the national social insurance contributions for staff and other taxes. We did not limit ourselves to that. We carried out the project of holiday jobs to our youths, because we have to encourage youths and have to assist the parents economically going back to school, and many youth groups that organize interquarters tournaments were assisted by the council financially. That notwithstanding,
with the congestion of the town, the Buea Council is well aware of such a problem, as they are opening new roads in the town.
Of urban development last year for the change of site of project. You are journalists, if you go to Moliko, the road that was done with that assistance 2 years ago, that's the road running in between Government Technical College Moliko and the Catholic University, which was started to the end. We wrote and sought funds from the central government, and I'm pleased to inform you people that the contract has been awarded for the tarring of that Mandingo Street right across the Catholic Mission towards the entrance of UB. That's another way we are moving gradually but surely to link it to Bulu. And what we did last year, that is going to ease congestion around Moliko and Mile 17.
The council session was equally attended by a member of the Upper Legislative Assembly, Senator Mbela Moki Charles. The municipality of Buea that recorded deadly flash floods last year, the mayor outlined the several works carried out to avert such incidents.
We did not end there. We equally worked on some water projects, roads, as I earlier on mentioned, schools. Many we constructed and refurbished classrooms and gave benches and didactic materials to primary schools, because that's where we start building a nation.
With the different achievements and other projects realized despite a fall in the revenue collection and a drop in the financial assistance allocation from Yaoundé, the Buea Council keeps on being a trailblazer in the southwest region, as she is the only council who is not owing her workers.
We move over to one of our lead stories. As we did mention, massive crowd turned out yesterday for the coffin and subsequent burial of the secondary school teacher of English language field who was allegedly killed by the husband, Dian Nyango, who was beaten to death allegedly by the husband over there in the town of Buea. The coffining ceremony that took place at the Douala Gynecological Obstetric Hospital mortuary was an avenue where parents and other stakeholders say it is therefore need for women and girls who are passing through abusive relationships to speak out in order for such scenarios to be averted. Aisha Mbeng was there at the Douala Gynecological Obstetric Hospital mortuary, and our report.
It was a crowd-pulling scenario at the Douala Gynecological Obstetric Hospital mortuary, as thousands came from far and near for the confining of late Dian Yango, an English language teacher of Government Bilingual High School Dokpasi in Douala, who was allegedly beaten to death by the husband last November.
Somebody that was really pushing, and I want to think that this should be the end. This should be the last case we are going to face about femicide. It's really difficult. It's really painful. But what can we say? We are missing somebody that is very dear to us. And the ministry, the profession is losing really a colleague.
Diane's death that has recorded condemnation from Cameroon and beyond, as some of her students remember her as an exceptional human being.
She was creative and she was exceptional. She was not doing things like other teachers. I felt sad because somebody just saw one for announcing and she really sent us messages through her text, but we never understood.
For some parents, Diane Yangwu didn't only impact just their children, but them also, as one prescribed for women and girls to speak out whenever they are being abused in any relationship. Diane was a mother of 3, with the youngest being just 2 years. She would be buried in her native Moya village in the Kam division of the littoral region. Diane's tragic death is therefore a wake-up call to all women and girls to speak out whenever they are being molested in whatsoever relationship they find themselves in. Diane's tragic death is therefore a wake-up call to all women and girls to speak out whenever they are being molested in whatsoever relationship they find themselves in.
Inhabitants and hierarchy of Bekomo, a village in the Bakassi Peninsula of the Southwest region, have called on the Cameroonian government and authorities to do all it takes for the said locality to be preserved after floods and high tides of sea wave keeps on making sure that land are being degrading in that part of the Southwest region. This follows a meeting or an inspection mission that was summoned by the Member of Parliament for that set constituency, who says it's time for the government of Cameroon to act quite faster, as this village might just become extinct in no distant time. More with a reporter on that. Massive erosion and the expanding nature of sea tides is having a huge toll on the environment and the people of Bekomo, a locality in the Bakassi Peninsula of the Southwest region, as consistent floods and other environmental hazards are having a huge toll in the area.
What we are experiencing here is abnormal in that we have had floods, but the gravity has never been what it is today. These are Cameroonians like all other Cameroonians in the Republic, and they deserve what other Cameroonians in the Republic deserve. If you can see behind me, these are giant trees that have been uprooted by waves. Bekomo, where we are, is the economic life wire of Bamuso subdivision. And if nothing is done, I am afraid in the next few years, this village will go extinct.
The environmental disaster has had a negative impact on the environment, as the rate of destruction speaks for themselves, something the mayor of the locality enumerates.
So everything completely has been destroyed. That the children, the field of this community that we used to organize matches, that field today is inside the water. The farmlands that the people used to do, where they used to, the women and men used to cultivate their crop, it has been eroded. So there is no land even left for any type of cultivation. You can see, so there is a lot of crisis, hunger, because people's crop, where their livelihood was attached, has been destroyed.
The district officer of Bekumu subdivision on his part outlined on the fast disappearing nature of land as a result of this consistent climate hazard effect.
In the early 90s, we had almost a kilometer from here. But today, the continuous process of tides going up, on and off is eroding the area. And if this process continues, in the next 5 years, I think this place will be completely off.
The mayor on his part called on the Cameroonian government to do the needful to preempt the situation such that the destruction nature of the second-class chiefdom of Bekumu can be averted in no distant time.
The government that some measures to preempt this situation, there are two ways. Either there is an embankment constructed along the coastline for that to prevent erosion, or maybe there is a backfilling because what we even need is that there should be an embankment and a backfilling to reclaim the land, because the younger people who are growing up, they will not have place even to build their houses because the little land that they have has been chopped off by the sea.
With the rates of destruction recorded in this part of the southwest region, the locals are calling on the different state agencies and actors to come to their assistance, as the Bekumu village might just become distinct in no distant future if adequate measures aren't therefore taken. With that story from Bekumu, a locality in the Bakassi Peninsula of the Southwest region, viewers of High Television, this is where we'll close tonight's newscast of Friday, the 29th day of March 2024. Thanks for watching and good Friday to you all.